What's going on? It's the Patriots back. All right. And I want to present to you a calm, inspiring speech that I hand wrote myself. All right, it's the first time I do this. It's going to be good. You guys are going to love it. Just give it a listen. All right. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Press the stop button. If you keep on liking it, keep listening to it. I'm going to find some motivation, some inspiration out of this handwritten speech that I handwritten myself. I wrote it all by myself, so here it goes. I would like to share a vision for those that would take time out of their day and listen. I would like to keep America free and lead America into the 22nd century still free, and keep America free forever. Since we parted time with our founding fathers, we have suffered in our great country of freedom from improper leadership, real improper leadership, incompetence and failure, and failure to deliver from improper leadership. Greed and corruption have plagued our great government since our founders installed freedom in the American Revolution. With the exception of a few presidents that didn't participate in the greed and corruption of that hijacked our great government. Certain presidents such as Lincoln, Calvin Coolidge, Teddy Roosevelt, and Ronald Reagan were exceptions after the founders that didn't participate in corruption and greed and selling out we the people. We must never abandon the founding fathers' principles or the values and principles of our nation. We must always keep alive and never turn our backs on the Constitution. We must never turn our backs on God. The only reason our country and freedom exists because He gave the perseverance and faith to attain the unattainable, to achieve the unachievable. We must never trade freedom for security. We must always recognize our nation and our founding's documents. Our founding documents stand for natural human rights endowed by our Creator. We must never turn our back on the founding fathers and their creed of integrity. They risked their money, they risked their lives, they made sacrifices, and changed the course of history. Our revolution was the most important and righteous revolution in the history of the planet Earth, and the greatest revolution that has ever been created by human existence. Our American Revolution was the most purpose, it held the most purpose in the history of the world. A small group of armed militias that believed in themselves defeated the most mighty military force on earth at the time, the British Empire. Through wit, perseverance, and faith, and an I can attitude, the unbelievable happened. Tyranny was defeated by a small group of self-organized, self-taught farmers, hunters, fishermen, and business owners, the militia. Creating freedom, hope, and putting government in check was something the world had never seen before. Never seen it before. The men that pledged their lives for their and our freedom, we will never abandon or ever turn our backs on the Founding Fathers and their principles and our founding documents, which crafted the great American superpower and made freedom. These men signed a document on September 17, 1787 at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. These men were George Washington, George Mason, James Madison, Robert Morris, Alexander Hamilton, Rufus King, and Roger Sherman. We will never forbidden our values to work hard and be independent, self-reliant, create creative inventions, and achieve and remain free. We will never sacrifice freedom. We will never sacrifice our inventions, our creativity, and our achievements. And we will never sacrifice the right to remain free. The government is not here to help you. The only government that wants to help people are those with freedom suppression in mind. More people come here than any other country in the world to come and be free and enjoy a higher state of freedom and living that we Americans provided, a safe haven in the world for those that enjoy freedom and despise the evils of socialism and communism. I need to get across the dangers that liberalism poses to this great nation, America. Liberalism poses a big and imminent threat to our land and to freedom. Liberalism will be the downfall of our great American nation. They believe in getting everything. They believe in getting rid of everything that makes us powerful, strong, and great. The right to own a gun, to defend oneself, freedom of speech, to say whatever you want. No laws for criminals, and bowing down to our enemies. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, America. This America is too strong to be defeated by other nations. We can't get defeated by other nations. We can only get destroyed from the inside. And that threat is liberalism. That's the only thing that could ever destroy America. Letting faith go, our values go, our integrity go, letting our heritage and traditions go to please others is a no-go for us to remain free. We will never fall to liberalism. We need to boycott and be aware of the anti-American rhetoric in the media, news, paper, radio, the television, and in our music, and in our movies. Our entertainment and pop culture has been anti-American and been run by an anti-American organization for so long as the 1950s. After Hollywood was screamed for communism and the Red Scare and McCarthyism, we seen our pop culture turn anti-American. Okay? We need to teach our young ones, teach our kids, and spread the word about this anti-American propaganda in our pop culture. Kids today are not getting taught on what it means to be an American. You should get this lesson from your family, your friends, the veterans in the neighborhood. You used to be able to get it from the movies, music, and the media. You can't get that anymore. It's all anti-American, and it hates on what makes America great. Today, knowledge of this land and the sacrifice of this land and the significance of this land is forbidden amongst our younger populations, the youth. They are lost in pop culture and the fake news media. Take time out your day to tell your kids of what it means to be an American. Teach them about American heroes. Teach them about American war heroes like Ike Eisenhower, General MacArthur, Jimmy Doolittle, Chris Kyle, John O'Neill, Ronald Reagan, George Washington, and General John Patton are all American heroes. Teach them what American freedom is. Teach them how the rest of the world is and how America is. Teach them about American exceptionalism and how we're greater than other nations because our right to individual freedom is at a higher pedestal than other nations. We are exceptional. We are the best. And we are the leaders of the free world. We must get money out of our politics. You shouldn't need millions to win elections or be bound by any money that you cannot raise or just know somebody to get in politics. That's corruption. Our elected officials should be elected for moral duty, for their values, their integrity, and the love of this great free land. They should all be patriotic. They should all have patriotism. There has been far too long for a small group or club of so-called elite groups that have hijacked our moral government of the Founding Fathers to give power to their corrupt friends, lobbyists, bureaucrats, special interests, corporations, and businesses. To make it hard for the average American to run. We will change that. I believe in America, and I believe in American exceptionalism. We will never be ruled, we will never be controlled, we will never submit to tyranny at all, in the past, present, or ever. Not in this country. This country, we are the land of the free and the home of the brave. We will always remain tough, independent, and free. In 1620, a group of pilgrims from England came to America on a dangerous voyage through the Atlantic Ocean on a wooden boat called the Mayflower on sails. Risking their lives for freedom from religious persecution from the Queen of England and her Catholic inquisitions, the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock, away from religious persecution, to the Freedom Land. These were early freedom men. He got away from the Catholic Church. Which is holding back their freedom. If you didn't practice Catholicism in England, they would kill you, or you would get locked up. So the Pilgrims set sail to America to avoid religious persecution for freedom. They set sail to come to the new world of freedom. Their voyage was a dangerous one that involved disease and death. They finally landed on Freedom Land, Plymouth Rock, Massachusetts, under Captain of the Mayflower, Christopher Jones, and Governor William Bradford. These were early men of freedom. Upon landing in America, William Bradley said, "Out of small beginnings," this is what William Bradford said, "out of small beginnings, great things have been produced. One small candle will light 1,000. So the light here may be shed to so many, to our whole nation." William Bradford believed in America. If he lit one candle, 1,000 would light. He wanted to shine to the many in the nation, to every person in the nation, to every people in this new land of freedom. He believed in America, and he wanted to grow and prosper. William Bradford was an early freedom man, a pilgrim facing religious persecution in Europe and the country of Britain, came to the New World, the Freedom Land, to live free and lived under God's rule. I will always defend America, always talk good about it, because I believe that God put this country here for people to get away from tyranny, to get away from tyrants, to be one with God and enjoy freedom and be an individual and not a part of the masses. People don't know. Most people in this country nowadays don't know that. They take the freedom for granted. And these early freedom men came here because the world is not free. America is free. And we always keep it that way, baby. USA, thank you for listening. Spread the word. Hope this speech inspired you a little bit to make your own speech to inspire other people. Patriots out. Hope I motivated you. I know I inspired you. God bless.